It's Monday, December 15th, 2025, and this is episode 349 of You Can Bet on That. Hi, everybody. Welcome to You Can Bet on That, a podcast for the recreational gambler. I'm Mark Duvall.
And I'm Dr. Mike.
Dr. Mike, you get home okay? I know when you flew back from Vegas, you were getting in relatively late, and it was super cold in Minnesota, and you had to work the next morning. How did that go?
Well, I did it all. I got home okay, and I worked the next morning. I'll tell you, I was not real with it all day.
Yeah, I'll bet.
I kept yawning all day. The kids were like, "Are you tired?" Yes, I am very tired. But I caught up now, so back to normal.
Good. Well, we are back from ZorkFest, so of course that's what we're going to talk about right away. You and I got in on Thursday. I drove, as I usually do. Dr. Mike, you flew in, and I picked you up from the airport. We had planned on staying at Planet Hollywood for the entire stay, Thursday through Monday. But neither one of us could get a room at Planet Hollywood, certainly not comped. And to pay full price, it was like $400, $500. We never did figure out what was going on.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on, but they shut us down, Mark.
Yeah, Caesars. Well, I had a room at the M Resort as well for that Thursday through Monday. So you stayed with me that first night, just like old times, just like back when we were poor and couldn't afford to get two separate rooms. And
yeah, you slept on the cot and I slept on the couch.
Cot, right? And then there were no beds in there. No, luckily I had two queen beds, so we were fine. Everything, I think, worked out good. Slept okay.
In the old days, there was like 5 of us in the room. And,
oh, my God.
2 brave guys would sleep in one bed, and then someone would sleep on a cot. Someone would sleep on the floor.
Right. We'd take a mattress off and put it on the floor, and then guys would sleep on the box spring, and good times.
Yeah, those were good times. Waking up in the morning with your face like about maybe a quarter inch away from mine.
Hi, Mike. Hi. Good morning.
When your eyes are closed and you get that feeling that something's not right.
Close to me? What?
Yeah. What is going on?
Hi.
You open your eyes.
We played a little bit that first night. I definitely like the setup that M Resort has for their craps tables. It's kind of out in the open. It's close to the cashier, the nightmare cashier. Oh, my gosh.
I'll tell you what, Mark, though. Those are great where they are.
I agree the location.
The bathroom is right there.
Yeah.
Literally across from the table. The casino cage is right there for checking out. And, yeah, it's just a perfect spot for us, for craps players. Service was good. Drink service
was good. Yeah, I've got a lot of great things to say about the M Resort, except for that cage. Oh my! It's one of those where it's also the Players Club, and I don't even know that was really the problem. It just seemed like they were understaffed. They did have a separate line for just cashing chips.
Yes,
but you would stand in that line forever. It was terrible
because they were busy with other people, and then. One time I was in that chip line by myself and there was a huge line and I kind of felt bad, saying I'm next. And these people have been waiting for all that time. So I let a couple go ahead of me just because it was kind of weird. I just walk up chips.
Yeah. I mean, good for you. Good Samaritan.
Yeah. And there wasn't a designated window for just chips.
No, you just had to be called from the line. Designated line. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be better if it was like a window at the very end that was just chips and that's all she did. And, the only way she took someone else is if there were nobody for chips. That would have made a little more sense, but...
We played that first night, played some crapless and some regular. We met listener Eric, who lives here near San Diego. Chula Vista is a community here in San Diego County. It actually went pretty well that first night, Mike. I guess I'll just, say right now, ultimately the trip was a huge loser. That was one of the bright spots was that first night. But otherwise not so good.
Yeah, it wasn't, as usual, didn't turn out well. But the first night was great. I went to bed the first night actually ahead.
Yeah, I was too. The next day, I got together with Josh Duffy to teach craps at a craps lab. And this was great. Em set us up with just this beautiful craps table with chips and dice and a stick and everything, and even provided a professional. Now, this was kind of interesting. The first session there, this gentleman, James, older gentleman, who obviously had years of experience playing craps, was there to join us to help out. I don't think he had actually been told exactly what he would be doing. But ultimately, what we had him do was just sit and kind of act like the box and correct Josh or me if we made a mistake, or add some more commentary, if he had something to add to sort of help out with the class. But the class went very well. We had a full table that first one. I think people really reacted nicely to it. Just a great setup. And then skipping ahead, we also did another craps lab the following morning at 8:00. Not as many people, but again, we had a helper. His name was Garfield, and he was quite a character. I guess they had interviewed him for some kind of Discovery Channel show, like Cheating in Vegas or something. So he had a bunch of great stories and everything, and yeah, he was chiming in. But it was interesting because neither James nor Garfield really knew I think they thought they were going to be teaching the game.
Right.
And really, Josh and I taught the game because we were teaching, not just the basics, but the bottom basics. Like, okay, here's how you buy in at a table. You can't hand the dealer money. We started with the very basics. Because, most of these people had never played craps. A lot of them had never played table games before. So a much better setup than last year where we just had a crapless felt just on a folding table. But I think that went out very well. And,
I saw a picture of the table. It was a nice table, too.
It had lights on and everything.
Just the old leftover one they had in the back. It was a nice table.
Yeah. And then we had the cocktail reception that night for ZorkFest. Saw a ton of people. I'm going to forget everybody that we saw or met, but off to a great start. And then after that, that's when you and I drove down to Planet Hollywood to actually check into our rooms starting that Friday night. That second day was spent mostly playing at Planet Hollywood, I think, Dr. Mike?
Yeah, this sums up the day real nicely, Mark. You and I are on a table playing where it's not going well, and the table next to us was completely full. The guy rolled for like 45 minutes, hit the all, and then they all made a ton of money and cashed out.
Yeah, that was it. And we were never on that table.
Yeah, and we were never on that table.
I will say, to Planet Hollywood's credit, they finally swapped out those TV screens in the craps pit. We have talked so long about how crummy those screens were. They just looked terrible. Yeah. Not just the TVs, but looked like maybe they had split the cable 100 ways, right? And the signal was right. Finally, everything looked great there. So that was great news.
Yeah, it's nice to have the nice TVs.
Yeah.
But playing old episodes of Barnaby Jones was not that great. The night before them, remember they had MLB Network.
Oh, that's right. MLB Network. And of course, certainly they're not showing any current games. They were showing like best playoff games in history or,
Yeah, it was some weird stuff or
all the screens. In the screen, they could have just had ESPN on, right? But no, all the screens were MLB.
I mean, we've got hockey going on. We've got NBA basketball. We got college basketball, men's and women's. There's so much sports to show. And we're watching MLB, which don't get me wrong. I love MLB.
Yeah, during the Major League Baseball season.
During the season is when I watch it.
That's funny, too. And I think I posted, too, at one point, The Connors was on the TV show. The Connors was up on one of the
Connors,
screens, too.
Right.
Didn't even have closed captioning on, so you couldn't tell what the dialogue was.
Yeah. Oh, it's funny how I don't know, Mark. I mean, you promised when you retired you'd be taking care of that, but
I know, but how many casinos can I work at?
That's true. You are stretched pretty thin.
Not going chronologically here necessarily, but that first night, there was a Crap Vegas Patreon crap session. And we filled up the table, and this was so unusual. Everybody had great rolls. I mean, just from the get-go, everybody made a point. It seems like whenever we get together for these group meetups, especially at ZorkFest, and playing craps, it just goes terribly. It actually went very well. It was slow to the point where all of us kind of agreed, I thought I made more money than I did. We all won, but it was so slow that it's like, okay, not quite as much.
But it's kind of nice when everybody cashed out a winner. I mean, that's amazing.
That session was really good. Something funny that came up. So everybody's having a great roll. The dice is getting around to Josh Duffy, who's at the other side of the table. And everyone on our side, we agreed, okay, when the dice get to Josh, let's all bet the don't. Right? And said, okay, we'll do that. So finally the dice got to Josh. We didn't say anything to him. We just put all our money on the don't. And luckily, without us saying anything, he saw us and got kind of a chuckle out of it. He was about to roll, but they stopped the game because virtually everybody, I was the only one who wasn't betting on the bonus, but everybody had a bet on all small tall. And they said, you have to be on the pass line in order to make that bet. And we've heard that before because they don't want people just coming up and the only thing they're playing is like $1 each on the all small tall, and taking up a spot. So they were
right.
And we're like, okay, yeah, but we're on the don't pass. No, it has to be the pass line. And
I don't understand.
I don't understand it either. You've still got a bet out there. What difference does it make? It certainly can't be a law. It's probably a casino rule, but why do you have to be on the pass line and not the don't pass? I mean, to roll the dice, you can be on the don't pass. So.
Yeah, but Mark, I mean, you're taking advantage of the all tall, all small, which is easy to hit, and then you're playing the don't, which is in your favor.
Oh, so the casino's going to lose money.
The casino never wins on that don't. Yeah, so they're thinking we're losing money on this guy. We need him on the pass line with full odds.
I don't know that other casinos have this rule. Let us know. Obviously, not many of us bet the don't, so it's probably not even come up, but. Maybe if you're at a casino and they've got the all small tall, ask them, hey, can I be on the don't pass and make the bet, or does it have to be the pass line? And if I can't do it from the don't, why? I'd like to speak to a manager.
And just so people know that I was being facetious, I haven't lost my mind.
Oh, on winning? Yeah. I'm glad you cleared that up because we're going to get to a little Is Mike Telling the Truth segment here coming up before too long. So,
good.
I'm sure you always like those.
I love those.
Yeah. And of course, then that Saturday night was Podcasters After Dark. Dr. Dave gave sort of an intro to the whole thing, talking about 360 Vegas. Mark, again, who passed away this last year. And then we had the panel run by Josh Duffy. It was Karen and J-Dubs from 360. Bill Kragenberg was there. You and I. Table Games James from Handy the Shandy was there. And then Josh Duffy ran the whole thing. I thought it went pretty well, Dr. Mike. Don't you? I thought it moved pretty well. Yeah.
I want to say it was the best one ever.
I think so, just in terms of it flowing very well and moving very well.
Yeah, it moved along and flowed. There wasn't a lot of...
Hats off to Duffy for running it, because I think that's the key to a good panel is the moderator. I'm pretty sure they have posted that on YouTube, so I will post a link to that in our show notes for those who were not at the event if you would like to see that Podcasters After Dark. Dr. Mike, you and I played some slots on this trip. You seem to be pretty enamored with the piggy bankin' break-in slot.
I like that. Yeah, where the pigs get fat and then bust.
Yeah.
But I couldn't make a pig come, so that says a lot about me.
You couldn't make a pig explode, you mean? You couldn't get
explode.
The pig yeah, all right. Again, send your cards and letters. Make sure you put Dr. Mike on the front. So attention, Dr. Mike.
I know it's all random, but you see them all. They're so big. Their feet are off the little thing they sit
One
on,
was getting huge.
And they're all cracked up, ready to go. And then you're just sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting. I like those games. I mean, I understand how the payouts go.
And a lot of slots are kind of the same concept, right? You've got these three things that'll get you to bonus, and if more than one pops at the same time or whatever, the bonuses are combined, and maybe you'll get more. Yeah,
they're kind of fun seeing them, get bigger and waiting and thinking, and then sometimes they're not even that big and they explode, and you win a bunch of money.
Yeah. When they're big fat like that, it's making you think, oh, it's close. Oh, it's close.
Yeah. It makes you think it's close.
Might not be close at all.
Which adds some excitement to the game. It's better than the old days. I think I was telling you that at the trip. In the old days, it was like the only excitement really was when you had like 2 7s and you're waiting for that third one to go, and that's not even a second of entertainment.
Yeah, you were saying that you prefer these newer slots. I know there's some people who, I want to play one of those old real slots, where it's just, you're waiting for 3 7s or whatever. But oh gosh, they put so much entertainment into these new ones. I mean,
and then, so all the stuff. I mean, the old ones, you get 3 7s, you win some money, and it's just like push it again, Yep. This, you got stuff to watch, and I don't know, they're kind of fun.
On Sunday morning, we had Coffee Dice, which is a regular event at ZorkFest. Now, this was more typical of our get-togethers. Just terrible. Nobody could make a point. It was just awful. I don't know, we're snake bit when it comes to Coffee Dice.
It was not good again. I don't know what it is with that. Maybe it's too early.
I noticed Josh had on his Crap Vegas Coffee Dice hoodie, which I did not wear this year. Maybe that's the problem. We just need nobody to wear the Coffee Dice hoodie.
Yeah, don't let them know we're coming.
I'm still trying to figure out what the problem is there. One thing that I wanted to learn this trip, because I hear so much about it, especially handy at the Shandy and on Crap Vegas, I wanted to learn how to play Ultimate X video poker. All the rage. And so
how'd that go for you?
Oh, very badly. Now, I realize that it's a much higher variance than just regular video poker, and I appreciate the concept. The concept was fun, but the variance, the volatility, I really didn't care for. Again, love the concept. I'm pretty boring when it comes to video poker. Later in the trip, I sat down with the group, just single line quarter video poker, and I really enjoyed myself. So I guess I don't need the excitement of something like Ultimate X. And I know that sort of flies in the face of me playing craps. I don't know. I certainly didn't hit anything big in Ultimate X. And I was watching Duffy next to me. I was watching his bankroll just fluctuate like crazy. And saying, okay, I kind of get a sense of what kind of bankroll you need if you're going to sit down at one of these machines. And,
you need a sizable bankroll.
So, yeah.
You're not the action guy, though. I'm the one that needs more excitement and action. Yeah. You're more in the minutiae of the game.
That's true. Craps, I'm kind of like Boring Jack, just 3-point Molly. I will sit and play poker probably for longer than you do. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you're not a thrill junkie. You're more of the professor at the table.
Okay.
And I'm more the Gilligan.
That's perfect. I'll take that.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
I think the ladies really love the professor on the old show. I think he was the heartthrob on that show.
Although he got nowhere with Marianne or Ginger.
There weren't as many shenanigans going on as that show as you'd think there would be, on a deserted island like that. What else? Oh, we did meet some listeners. It's always kind of fun when listeners kind of stumble upon us. Brent and Dennis at Planet Hollywood. Remember, it's like, oh, are you Mark and Dr. Mike? I mean, they didn't even know we were in town.
First, Brent came up, right? And he just was going to play. And then he kind of heard your voice and he said, hey, are you? Yeah. And we're like, yeah. And it was just happenstance for him. He said, I didn't even know you guys were here, you know?
Yeah.
Obviously, he doesn't listen that much.
Yeah, really, because we know. Oh, you guys didn't say you were going to be here. Yeah, we did for the last few episodes. We said we're going to be here for ZorkFest. Once we said ZorkFest, he said, oh, yeah, that's right.
He immediately got on his phone and called Dennis, who was somewhere else in the casino. You got to get over here. Didn't tell him why. Just told him, come on over. So when he got over there, he introduced it. And we played for them for a while. I guess they were there with their mom and dad and family. Very nice guys. We had a good time with them.
We tried to meet up with 10-ton from Casino Tiers, but we couldn't quite make it work. It's so funny because I'm texting him in the car, and yes, it was hands-free texting, just using my voice. And I look up, and there's this huge billboard in front of me that says Casino Tiers Podcast. They actually got a giant billboard in Vegas. Oh, my gosh. Good job, guys. We got to look into that, Dr. Mike.
Where would we put it, though?
Oh, gosh.
You'll probably put it out on my wife's farm out here. No one would see it. About one car goes by every week, but we could get it cheap there. Right. One thing I'd like to say, Mark, is that I was very impressed with that little deli thing at M.
Oh, at M Resort? Yeah, they've just got, I think it was called like the Vig Deli or something like that.
Yeah, open 24/7. The food was really good.
It's funny. That's the only place we ate. So I was going to actually eat at one of the other restaurants on Sunday night, but it was closed. So just, burgers and sandwiches and nachos.
I had a Reuben. The nachos were really good, I thought. Big thing of nachos with all kinds of toppings on it. I had a hot corned beef sandwich, which was good. I'd recommend that. That was a good place for, someone who's looking not to have a big meal, just to,
something fast.
Get a sandwich.
Right. Which is kind of you and I, right? We're not all that interested in sitting down for a long meal.
No, that's waste of time.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely thumbs up overall for M Resort. I keep harping on it. The only thing I really didn't like was the cashier, and I really didn't like it. But overall, if you don't mind just a single, maybe you're just going to stay at that property. Because, to go to any other property, you've got to get in a car. It's not like you can walk anywhere else.
And you forgot the most important thing about the M. There's a Jack in the Box right outside.
You could walk to it. We just drove to it. There's a little Arco station and Jack in the Box. Now, why this is pretty important is, number one, if you've got a hankering for Jack in the Box and you're on the Strip, there really isn't one, unless I'm not remembering correctly. You have to go off Strip to get to a Jack in the Box.
Yes, you do.
And the second thing this is important is you don't have Jack in the Box by you now, right?
No, there are no Jack in the Boxes in Minnesota.
Yeah. So that was big for you. You ate there twice at least.
Yeah, twice. It was huge for me. I'm a big Jack in the Box fan. I love their food, and you can't beat those breakfast croissant things.
I love those. Those sausage croissants, so good.
Yeah, and tacos.
Yep.
Oh.
All right, one more thing I'll say about the trip. This was kind of funny. You and I were in the car, and I got a text message from Sherry. Siri said, "You've got a message from Sherry." And I said, "Okay, yeah, go ahead and play it." And Sherry says, "Did you make it to 55 okay?" And I'm like, what? And we're both hearing it's like, what? I played it again. Did you make it to 55 okay? And we're still,
I thought it was some secret code you guys had.
I know, right? And I'm like, speed limit? My age? I mean, I'm well past 55. Finally, when we stopped, I actually looked at the text, and it said, "Did you make it to LV okay?" Las Vegas. LV. But Siri read it like it was a Roman numeral. Did you make it to 55 okay? Wonderful.
Yeah, I love that. So that's our new thing. Like, when's the next time you're going to be in 55? Especially if you're like talking around somebody you don't want them to know you're going to Vegas.
I don't want them coming with us. I'm going to do that from now on. When's the last time you were in 55? Gosh, it's been a while now. Yeah, I'm going this next week. It was great, again, to play with you, Mike. You and I don't get together to play very often. I think it's been over a year. So in that respect, it was a great trip. Yeah, we lost. Thanks, of course, to Michael Traeger and his entire crew. I thought it was very well run this year.
Yes, very well.
Again, my notes were so bad. Can you think of anything else here, Dr. Mike, that I'm leaving out?
Well, you got pretty drunk one night.
I did. It was bad.
A little more than you probably wanted to.
I didn't want to go that far. I was embarrassed.
Well, you were complaining about the strength of the drinks at M.
That gets me sometimes, is I'll be drinking at a location and it's just not doing anything because it's so watered down. And then I'll go to a nicer place and order the same frequency, and they've got more liquor in there, and it caught up with me. I didn't like that. Yeah.
And you didn't remember a lot the next day.
All right. I was embarrassed by it. I'm too old for that. Let's just say that. All right.
Well, as long as you have someone there. If you were alone.
I'm being, thank goodness you were there. I wouldn't have done it, right, if I hadn't been with you. Yeah.
Right.
And you were the one who drove us back to the M, obviously. So,
right.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Well, and plus, I was watching out for you, because when you turned to me and said, "Did I cash out?" Did you give me any money? Yes,
yeah.
Mark.
That's
I was
not
watching.
good. I know.
Yeah.
I'm saying, hey, Dr. Mike, we've still got to use that free play that Emma Zork gave us. No,
Yeah.
you already got that, Mark. That was
Yeah,
earlier.
we did that earlier.
All right. Anything else on the trip?
Not that I can think of. I had a very enjoyable ride home on the plane. It was
Good. Oh,
good.
yeah. So no issue on the flight or anything. Very
No,
comfortable.
I was in E-gates.
Uh,
Never been in the E-gates. They're a long ways away. You got to take like 3 escalators and an elevator and a tram to get over there.
You need to learn that airport a little bit better. When I came to pick you up, we texted back and no, Mike, you're in the wrong spot. Oh, I'm down by limousines. No, you got to. Took
Well,
forever to pick you up.
I know Seagates. Put me at Seagates.
Oh yeah, that's old Southwest when you'd fly in from here.
I could do that with my eyes closed.
All right, well, Dr. Mike, related to that, you were complaining about something on the previous episode, and we got some feedback from listeners basically saying, what is Dr. Mike talking about? Now, in the past, I've sort of relished calling you out on things that you've said that were wrong and kind of teasing you about it, that kind of thing. But I think in this case, you really didn't say what you meant.
Right. I should have explained better.
Yeah, and I mean, you really misspoke. Okay, I qualified it by saying you didn't say what you meant, but there's nothing vague about it. I'm going to play what you said last time, and then I'll give you a chance to respond. Okay, so let's listen to what happened last time.
From where I am at, even if I go to Minneapolis, there are so few direct flights to places. You know, I mean, trying to get a flight to, wouldn't you think Minneapolis is a major airport, and to get a flight to Vegas nonstop, I had to go on a special time and special day. There was like only 2 of them out of all the airlines that service there. From a major airport, you would think there'd be like 2 or 3 at least flights a day nonstop. No, there's like 2 a week that are nonstop. I mean, you can always get there, but I don't want to fly to Atlanta and then fly to Delaware and then back to Vegas. It's just
All right, so it's pretty clear what you said there. I know Zach responded to you. He said, hey, if Dr. Mike needs help making plane reservations, let me know. And Boring Jack wrote an email basically saying, what the heck is Dr. Mike talking about? Now, when you were saying this to me on the last episode, I didn't know, so I'm just going along, yeah, that's terrible. I actually did a little research here before the episode today. Depending on the day, there are between 6 and 10 nonstop flights from Minneapolis to Las Vegas. So what the heck were you complaining about?
Well, and I should have clarified from the beginning, I was looking for a cheap flight.
Yeah.
As opposed to paying $1,000 to fly. And a lot of the ones I looked at, like Delta and other airlines, were pushing $1,000.
Yeah.
I wanted something more around 400 or something, you know.
Right. Now, I don't know about the specific days you were looking at. Again, when I was doing research this morning, there were plenty of days where Delta was the cheapest option.
Oh, really?
Now, I don't know about time of day or what, but
yeah, it wasn't when I looked, and I'm kind of limiting myself to time of day.
Okay, sure.
I wanted to get there about when you did.
Right.
So I was looking for something around that, which get me close. And I was looking, for a Thursday. And originally I was going to come back on Monday, but then I had to change it to Sunday because I didn't get that Monday off work. And that was a little harder. Monday would have been a lot easier to find a cheaper flight.
All right. I've let you defend yourself here, but you really felt it necessary to complain about the unavailability of nonstop flights from a major airport. And even if really you should have qualified it by saying inexpensive, I don't think you should have complained about this at all. What do you think?
Well, for me, it was hard.
For you, it was hard to get exactly what you wanted.
Exactly what I wanted for a cheap price.
Okay.
I could have got flights, but they were like close to 1,000. And I was thinking, that's a lot of money to pay just to fly to Vegas for the weekend.
Okay, so your complaint really...
I mean, that's what we paid to fly to Italy.
Yeah, I understand. Your complaint really needed a lot of qualifications. You shouldn't have been so general about, what is it about? Can you believe a major metropolitan airport? Because really, it's just you yourself had trouble finding exactly what you wanted at a price that you were willing to pay.
Right.
Okay.
Now, does it surprise you that I was complaining about that?
No, not at all. And again, this is what I relish, is calling you out on this stuff and saying it's the lying that I don't like.
Yeah. I hear you.
All right, very good. Thanks for being a good sport, Dr. Mike. Let's move on. Hey, thanks to everyone who's been clicking through our Amazon link. Remember, whenever you're going to buy something through Amazon, please go to our page first, youcanbetonthat.com, and click through our Amazon link towards the top of the page. Dr. Mike, also on the last episode, you were wondering how some of our listeners that we haven't heard from in a while were doing. And we actually got a lot of responses. So let's kick off our voicemails with Joseph.
Hey guys, this is Joseph from Grand Prairie, Texas, right outside of Dallas. So I just finished the mixed poker game episode and felt compelled to call and let Dr. Mike know that I'm okay. Sorry for not calling. And also wanted to know, since Mark is retired, if he's going to be on PokerStars more or have more tournaments. Anyway, thank you for the podcast, and I hope you guys have a good holiday season, and you guys have a good one. Bye.
Thank you, Joseph, for checking in.
Yeah. No additional tournaments on PokerStars. We still have 2 a year. I think that's a pretty good cadence for me and the work that I put into it. I won't be on PokerStars any more than I am, which isn't that much anyway, because we don't have real money PokerStars here in California. So, it'd only be play money. I am playing poker a lot more. I talked about that mixed game that I've been going to and I'm continuing to go to and still love it, but not so much online.
Yeah, that makes sense, especially in California. But what about a poker home game online? Like Michael James used to have, where
like during the pandemic, and even Adam Bauer had that a couple of times during the pandemic. Right. Well, if we're doing that for real money, I don't think so, because that becomes a whole other thing. I'm real happy with just the play money that we do, and we give away prizes. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of a hassle to get money from people for...
No, I don't want to go down that road.
Okay.
Yeah. But thank you, Dr. Mike.
That's fair enough.
All right, and next up is Tara.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike. It's Tara from New Mexico. Just listening to the recent podcast where you're saying there are some people you don't hear from as often anymore. Not sure if you were thinking of us, but I will say, we used to call in all the time and report whenever we would hit a royal. And then we had a year a few years ago where we hit so many royals that we had to stop calling in and telling you guys about it because it was too much. It was ridiculous. We were just, however many you think I'm saying, it was more than that. So we stopped telling people how many royals we hit. But I will report, since then, we have not been hitting any royals. So it does balance out in the end. But that was why we had quit calling in for a little while. I'll also say that your schedule for putting out episodes every 2 weeks is very important to Taylor and I, so that we can get our laundry put away. Because when we have a good podcast to listen to, we put all the clothes out that have been clean in laundry baskets sitting around, and we fold and hang and put everything away, and our closet's very organized. So we really need you guys to stick to the every 2 week episode, or our laundry gets backed up. Or we end up having to listen to Adam the Fraud talk about how he's not getting a handy at the shandy. And that's just not as enjoyable to do laundry to.
No.
So keep up the schedule. Really love hearing from you guys. And hopefully we'll have another over-roiled year here soon. Thanks. Happy holidays.
All right. Thanks, Tara. Good to hear from you.
Yes.
Yeah, Tara, as far as we're late with this episode, like we said we were going to be, because of ZorkFest. Also, with the holidays coming up, not only do we get fewer downloads during that time, but we get fewer voicemail calls during that time. So we're going to wait another 3 weeks till our next episode. Our next episode then will be on January 5th, but then we'll get back into that every 2 weeks. So,
yeah. Then just so Tara knows, when we don't do 2 weeks, it affects my laundry here as well.
Oh, God.
So I hear her pain.
Yeah. I don't need any additional details on that, Dr. Mike.
No, none given.
All right. Next up is Bert.
Mark, Dr. Mike, it's Bert from Virginia. How you guys been doing? It's been a while since I've called in. I heard Dr. Mike reference some of the people who used to call, and I, with pride, put myself in that group. Still out here, still gambling. We have still the Danville, Virginia. Caesars is my closest property. Been going down a couple of times. Been to AC. Just got back from a trip to Biloxi a few weeks ago. Headed up to AC at the end of the year. Just want to give you guys a little bit of insight. I've been a fan of your show for a long time, as you know. The shift from you guys sort of going to the casino every week to being more discussions around the callers took me a little while to get used to, but I've still been listening, and I think you guys have hit a stride now, so I'm very happy for that. The shift from, weekly gambler to sometimes gambler can be challenging. I know I'm struggling with that myself. Used to go every month somewhere. Now I'm probably going, every couple of months to try to get that fix. But I still love the show. I'm glad you guys are doing well. And it's great to hear you guys online, just enjoying each other's camaraderie from afar. Thanks for the show, and I hope you guys have a great new year.
All right, you too.
Oh,
Thank
same
you, Bert.
to you, Bert. Yeah, happy holidays. Yeah, I missed Bert a lot because I like hearing from him. So I'm glad he's doing well. And things did change because we used to go every week, if not twice a week.
Yeah.
And now it's a little rarer.
I miss that a lot. I'm sure you do too. I mean, there's nothing we can do about it living this far away, but that became such a routine for us. And it affected the show. Well, pretty much every episode we'd have something to say about it, and laughing
something
and
would
everything.
happen. Yeah. And as bad as it's been for me the last year, gambling wise.
Yeah.
I probably am better off that I'm not going a lot, I guess.
That's true. It has probably saved both of us money. As far as the show goes, we definitely depend on listeners for our discussions. I think, again, Adam Bauer has pointed that out many times, that, we can't come up with anything original on our own. I have no problem with that. Our listeners are great, and they provide tons of topics.
Yeah, what's the problem with that? We have great stories from people, which other people wouldn't hear if it wasn't for us. Adam.
Yeah. God, Adam. All right, let's keep this going. Here's our buddy Marty.
Mark and Dr. Mike, how you guys doing? It's Marty from Reno. Been a long time. Hey, Mike, I heard your shout-out last week. Figured I'd give you guys a call. So I'm still up here in Reno. Mark, congratulations on the retirement. I retired this year also, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Just a couple things on your comments from last week. Your comments on Tahoe, I think your ratings are right on. Beautiful place. The casinos up there are all very professionally run. 3 of the 4, Bally's, Golden Nugget, and Harvey's, which is now Caesars Republic, all did major upgrades over the last couple of years, and they all have craft stables. In fact, I could say that Caesars Republic is almost too nice for a Caesars property. It's really gorgeous.
Wow.
Their high-limit card room is great, and what they've done with their restaurants and the casino itself are just first class all the way. So cheers for that. On the other side is Reno, and again, it's kind of sad what's going on in Reno. The resorts are investing millions in upgrades in downtown Reno, but it's still very sad because the old Harris property, which was kind of the anchor property right in the middle of downtown, is still boarded up. They're on their second new owner since Harris shut them down, and still nothing yet on when they're going to reopen, and it's not going to be a casino anyway. It's going to be bars, restaurants, and office space, so that's kind of too bad. Live traditional craps in Reno are just continuing to disappear and being replaced by electronic craps. There's still a few places where you can get a good game in. Probably the best game in town is at the GSR, which is the Grand Sierra up by the airport. They've got 2 live tables that are always busy, straight 5 times odds, and you pay the juice on the back end on the 4 and 10. Peppermill also has 3 tables, which are live and lively on Friday and Saturday nights especially. Again, 3, 4, 5 times odds, pretty standard, but you do pay the juice up front on 4 and 10. So kind of too bad, but it's very sad kind of what's happened here in the last 10 years since we've been here. About a 50% decline in live craft tables. Some casinos have pulled them out altogether. Others are kind of replacing 1 or 2 of their tables with the live roll-to-win craft. So anyway, really appreciate you guys. I'm still listening every week. I haven't had a chance. I've been too busy with my retirement. So have a good one, guys.
Too.
Love you guys.
All right. Thanks, Marty.
Hey, congratulations, Marty. I was glad to hear from him, too, because we haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, I think the last time we did see him was in Tahoe.
Yeah, when we were there for that.
Gosh, and that's
yeah, Tahoe's a beautiful place.
love Tahoe.
I would really like to go there more if I could.
Yeah.
It's a little far now, but when we were in San Diego, it wasn't that bad. You could even drive there.
Yeah, I'll never drive there again, though. That's a long drive.
It is a long
for
drive.
a single day. That's too much even for me. From now on, I'll just fly into Reno. And it's only about an hour drive from Reno. Speaking of Reno, though, again, sad to hear from somebody who's right there that Reno's not what it used to be. Not that it was this, mecca or anything, but that's sad.
Well, it kind of had that rep as like a little Vegas.
Yeah,
right?
little Vegas,
The biggest little town in whatever.
Yeah. All right. Next up is Wendell.
Hey, guys. It's Wendell from Denton, Texas. I haven't called in a while. Was friends with Denton, Dallas, and beyond. I haven't been to Vegas since COVID. It had been since 2018, March. And I actually went this year. I went in October. It was fun. I had a suite at the Golden Gate. A few different friends came. Some stayed at the Gold Nugget. Some stayed at Fremont. So we were basically on Fremont Street. So it was a good time. It had changed because it's been, like I said, 7.5 years. I think the vibe of certain places went down, vibe of other places went up. It was good. I had a good time. I'm going back again for Super Bowl. Other than that, I'm still listening to the podcast. Thanks for all you do. You know, being so close to Oklahoma, a lot of times we go up to like Windstar, stuff like that. And we've actually gone to Cripple Creek, Colorado a few times in the last few years. And that's a really fun old mining casino town that's not too far away from that Blackhawk, Colorado that you went to. So anyway, I will continue to listen, and I'll try to remember to call in on my next Vegas trip, which will be again for Super Bowl. All right, thanks, guys. Bye.
All right, thanks, Wendell.
Yeah. Haven't heard from him in a while either. Yeah.
No,
that
well,
was nice.
and no wonder, right? He hadn't been to Vegas in like 7+
long
years.
time.
So,
yeah.
Cripple Creek, I looked into it. It's not that close to Blackhawk. It says 2.5 hours when I was looking at Google Maps. So if we were in Blackhawk, I don't think I'd want to spend 5 hours round trip just to check it out. But I've heard things about it, people going and having a good time.
I have too. I've heard good things about it. Somebody here in Minnesota asked me one day about that. Was Blackhawk close to there? They had been there.
Yeah.
But another place we might have to visit sometime.
Yeah, we'd have to make a special trip. I'd say that's unlikely, though. I mean, I know that you're suggesting it, but we've got to get to Harris Cherokee.
We've got to get to Harris Cherokee.
That's the big one,
Yeah. Maybe we should do that this summer.
It's all you, Dr. Mike. It's all you.
Yeah.
We may be going to New Orleans over the summer, though. We'll talk about that on a future episode.
Yeah, we could probably drive from New Orleans up there.
Don't get ahead of yourself here, Dr. Mike. Okay,
that might be a drive.
That'd be quite an ordeal. All right. Let's keep moving along with these people we haven't heard from for a while. Next up is Dylan.
All right.
Mark and Dr. Mike, this is Dylan from Houston. I heard on your last episode you were saying you were missing a bunch of callers. All I can speak for is me personally. Haven't been gambling a whole lot, pretty much at all. So I just don't have any stories for you, but I'll hit you with an old one really quick. A sports betting story. 2023 football season, I placed a $200 future bet on the Texans to win the Super Bowl that year. Now, that was C.J. Stroud's first season, and the Texans were the second longest shot preseason to win the Super Bowl. I think the Cardinals were the absolute longest shot. This was a while ago, obviously, but if I remember correctly, I bet $200, and I think the payout would have been $40,000. And they actually made it all the way to the playoffs, which was surprising. And when they did that, MGM actually offered me either like $600 or $800, something like that, to settle up the bet before any of the playoff games. And I just thought, you know what? Regardless of what happens, I'm never going to be closer to 40 grand off a $200 bet. So I let it ride. Good. Obviously, the Texans didn't win the Super Bowl that year, but have y'all ever made a futures bet on a sports team and been offered a payout because it was doing well? I was wondering if that was kind of half unique. Other than that, I love the show. If I have any new gambling stories ever, I'll call them in. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Dylan.
Yeah. Never had that happened to me, Mark.
No, we've never done
I've never made a huge bet on a long shot.
We talked about this situation on episodes 321 and 322, where the sports book is offering to buy out your bet when the chances of it winning are better than when you originally made the bet. And maybe there are opportunities where you would want to do it. In Dylan's example here, they were offering him only like 3-1 or 4-1 on his bet, $600 to $800 for a $200 bet. No way.
Yeah, no way.
Stick it out and, see if you can go all the way. Now, if they had made the Super Bowl and then maybe MGM made them some additional offer.
Right.
It depends on what the offer is. But we talked about it on those episodes that it never makes sense mathematically. But if the values get high enough and they could really affect your life in some way, then maybe you go against the math.
Well, for me, Mark, if you're a true fan of that team that you're, he's betting on that team because it's his team.
Yeah.
Right? You got to stick with it.
Yeah. You would
hate yourself if they did happen to win. And even if they don't make it, you still have a great story.
Yeah, right. Your story is only good if you stuck with it.
Right.
Either way, no matter what.
Otherwise, it's like, so what? You have no faith in your team. That being said, I'm never going to make a wild bet like that on the Los Angeles Chargers.
No, I wouldn't either. They're in a different city from where I live. So I'm not really interested in what they do as far as their playing and winning, and et cetera.
You're really down on them. A lot of people in San Diego are.
Oh, yeah. I'm not alone here. And No, I don't. Like I said, when they first left, I kind of wanted them to lose. Yeah, I kind of hated them a little. I'm really indifferent to them now. Sometimes when I'm watching a game and it's the Chargers playing, sometimes I'll be rooting for them. I'm just indifferent. I really don't care.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still a big fan.
Okay, fine. Even though I think there's one episode in our podcast where you said that they're dead to you or something to that effect. I'm sure Jim from New York could probably tell me exactly what episode it is where you said, nope, I'm done. And then you just come back again.
I can't leave them. You've seen my wall of Charger memorabilia and stuff in my house. So, I still root for. I'd love for them to win, just because you got to root for somebody. And I'm certainly not rooting for Minnesota Vikings. They're terrible.
But you live there.
I do root for them, and I'm a little embarrassed to say that now. But
all right, let's hear from our buddy Robin.
Well, hello, Mark and Dr. Mike. I just had quite a few little things that I needed to ask or cover, so here goes. I wish I could have made it out to Las Vegas to be a part of the celebration of life for Mark W. He was a very special person and extremely knowledgeable. Everything he brought to so many of us with his love of Vegas and historical background, he will be sorely missed. Now, you guys were blind ranking last week. You came up with Lake Tahoe, Biloxi, Connecticut, AC, and San Diego. I thought that was a pretty good ranking. I thought maybe Black Hawk should have been included instead of San Diego, but, the randomizer spits something out, and you got to work with that. So, nice job with that, though. I would agree with almost everything you said. I know this is past Thanksgiving. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. I was just wondering, the casinos in New England on Thanksgiving usually have less players. I mean, it's almost dead. And it's a great day to spend Thanksgiving. So I hear, anyways. Is it the same in Vegas on the Strip? Are there less players, less people? I'm just wondering. And finally, Mark, I have something for you. There are a lot of VP games in the past decade that are using like a paying hand to get the bonus. The pay tables are usually decreased, and then you actually need a paying hand, like a pair of jacks or better, to get the bonus. So I was wondering two things there, Mr. Mathematics. First of all, does the limit on getting to the bonus increase the house edge? And could you figure out the actual RTP on a video poker game that has that restriction on the bonus? I might add that this is usually on multi-hand games, the 3 times, 5 times, and 10 times. So, for example, could you figure out the RTP percentage on, let's say, double-double bonus that's at 8-5? What would be the chances of you getting a chance to play the bonus with those restrictions? Well, it's time to go, and I love everything that you guys do. I hope I get to see you soon, and enjoy ZorkFest. Say hello to Mr. Traeger for me. I'm out.
All right. Thank you very much, Robin, for the call.
Yep, Robin.
Even though I love math, I'm not a mathematician. I'm pretty good at math, but I've never taken the time to do the math on video poker. I've always relied on programs where you can just type in all the information and it just spits something out. If you want information like that for your question, you need to check with someone like Bob Dancer or Boring Jack, who's very good at that kind of thing, to come up with the answers for RTP. RTP stands for return to player, and that's usually what you hear when people talk about video poker. Oh, it's got a 98% RTP, it's got a 99% RTP. So I will step back and say maybe somebody else can answer that question.
You'll acquiesce to them, or
Yes.
maybe a math teacher.
Yeah. I don't know any math teachers, Dr. Mike, so I'll just leave it at that. Now, Thanksgiving in Vegas, you've never been actually on the day of Thanksgiving in Las
Never
Vegas.
on the day.
Right.
But,
Now,
but
I haven't
on
either.
the weekend.
Yeah, so that's the thing. We have heard that on Thanksgiving Day, you can get some pretty good meals. A lot of the hotel casinos have these great either buffets or turkey dinners or everything, but that you might have to wait in line.
Our friend Gary went every year on Thanksgiving a while back when his kids were younger and still at home and stuff. They'd all go to Vegas and stay in a nice hotel somewhere, and have a big feast at one of the casinos.
Yeah.
And he loved that because he said it wasn't crowded. It was a good time to take the kids.
Right.
They would leave like on Wednesday and come back Friday.
Yeah. So again, we're getting this secondhand. Now, like Mike said, we have been there on Thanksgiving weekend, and that is extremely busy.
Yeah.
Right.
It's after Thanksgiving that Friday.
Right. Everybody drives to Vegas on Black Friday, right? And then it's super crowded. We made the mistake of driving home from Las Vegas on that Sunday, Thanksgiving Sunday. That was the longest trip back we ever had. And
that was a long trip.
We're laughing about it now, Dr. Mike, but you got food poisoning from the Carl's Jr. in Barstow. Somehow Paul and I did not. We were fine.
They were fine because your burgers were probably cooked before the guy scratched his behind and then put my burger on. Well, I was in the back seat, doubled over. You guys were giving me a hard time because I had lost. You're just upset you lost.
Yeah, we just thought you were moping.
I'm like, no, I really don't feel good. Thank goodness I made it back before
got to your house, and then you ran straight to the bathroom and
I ran to the bathroom and I was there for the whole next day. Missed work on Monday. I mean, I did not leave the bathroom. It was just coming out of everywhere.
It's so horrible. It's one of those funny things, isn't it, where when we look back on being sick, at the time, it's just awful. There's nothing funny about it at all, right? It's horrible. And then years later, we're laughing about it. Just, I was in the bathroom all day.
Yeah, you feel like you're going to die at the time. It's like, this is miserable. You guys, you gave me such a grief the whole way.
I remember, Shut up. We all lost.
Yeah. Oh, God. Thank God it happened in Barstow.
Oh, yeah.
Because if it had been the whole trip, I mean, half of the trip I was fine.
Yeah.
And then, he probably used the last of the mayonnaise on my burger.
Yep.
And then you guys got a new can or a new bottle or something. I got the old can that he found stuffed behind something.
Oh, I didn't know this was still here. I can use this on the next hamburger I make.
Yeah, I have enough for one more hamburger.
All right. Next call.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike. It's Thanksgiving on the day I'm recording this, so happy Thanksgiving to you all. And I want to call in and let you guys know I just hit my first all tall small at Caesars Virginia, yes.
Nice.
It actually happened twice at one table. The first time it happened, I was so mad I didn't hit it the first time I wasn't betting the all tall or small. I was playing low stakes. It was at 15 tables, only playing the pass line, and then a 6 or 8. Then another guy came 3 shorts later, and he wanted a heater, and the final number that made the all tall small was a 3. So the 3 craps gave me my first all tall small with $5 on it. Nice $750 win. Oh, I'm so happy. Caesars, Virginia. It's going great, guys, and love you guys' show. Excited to see what else you guys do it, and hope you guys have a great holiday season. But see Virginia, I'm so excited. My first ever all tall small. All right, have a great day, guys. Bye.
All right, thanks, Jason. Congratulations.
Yeah, it is fun. By the way, we forgot to mention we never hit an all.
No,
in this
we
trip.
hit a couple of sides, but we never hit the all. Yeah. Well, speaking of the all small tall, the last few episodes, we have been trying to give advice to Maddie from Australia because he wanted to bet the all small tall and was wondering the best way to kind of survive at a craps table until that hit. Well, Maddie's got an update. Let's hear from him.
Hi, Mark and Dr. Mike. Maddie from Perth here. I just wanted to say a huge thank you for all the advice you've given me on the show and the airtime you've already given me for all of my silly questions. Preemptive apology for listening to none of it. Tonight I finally made it to the craps table. I bought in and went 25 each on the all, tall, small, $30 each on the 6 and 8, and 25 on the pass line. My first roll set the tone beautifully. Both dice straight off the table. I confidently called for the same dice back, but apparently that request carries absolutely no weight in Perth. They tossed me new dice and I 7'd out instantly. Fair enough. I stuck with the same bets and had a second roll. I managed to hit a couple of 6s and 8s, pressed half each time, and always put max odds on the point. Nothing spectacular happened, but enough to feel like maybe the table and I were friends. I was cheering and clapping. No one else was. The next shooter finally turned up, proudly wearing a shirt covered in huskies. Exactly the sort of shirt I imagined Dr. Mike would wear to the table. The bloke proceeds to roll the small. I cheer. I get paid. I clap. I yell. I replace my bet. I throw out a C&E and some hard ways, and I lose immediately. He throws a few more dice. He hits the tall. I get them all. I walked out with 5 times my buy-in, and now I've got a whole new problem to deal with the next time I walk into the casino. The belief that I can actually win at the table. Anyway, thanks again, guys, for everything that you do. I hope you both will, and if you're ever in Australia, let me know. I'd love to catch up and maybe roll some dice. Thanks, guys, and just to lean into the Aussie stereotype, g'day, mate. Thank you. Bye.
All right. Thanks, Maddie. Good day.
Good day, mate.
Wow. Great luck. You know, it's a story that's kind of been building these last few episodes, right? How's Maddie going to do it? It's so fantastic you actually hit it early on in your craps adventure.
Yeah.
We've got several more voicemails. Let's just do one more and then we'll save the rest for next time. Let's hear from Frank.
Hello, Mark and Dr. Mike. This is Frank from St. Louis. Wanted to give you an update on an upcoming Las Vegas trip. We started in 2019 for our 60th birthdays. So let's do it again for our 65th birthday. Walked the strip, made one bet at each casino. We pool our money and each person gets to take a turn playing whatever game they want. One roll of craps, one hand of blackjack, one hand of pie gow, casino war, whatever floats their boat. Instead of doing a milestone every 5 year, we thought, we're not getting any younger, so we're going to go back out there again on December 15th. I'll give you an update on how it goes. Takes about 12 or 13 hours to walk the entire strip, but well worth it. Weather's nice, much less crowded that time of the year, the week before Christmas. If anybody wants to join us, we'll be meeting up at the Aztec Inn Casino for their $5 or $6 breakfast. Well worth it. And hopefully we can keep our costs down. It's always a challenge out there. So love the podcast. Hope you guys have a great Christmas and New Year season, and I'll give you a report on how things go. Have a great day.
All right. Excellent. Well, good luck, Frank. That's actually going to be the day this episode drops. They're doing it December 15th.
Nice.
So good luck. Yeah, let us know how that goes. Well, that is going to do it for this episode. Again, our next episode will be in 3 weeks on January 5th. And I guess you got a kind of a longer episode here, so hopefully that'll keep you entertained.
I mean, if we
until the
did
new
2
year.
weeks, it'd be Christmas, right?
Well, it's not just that. It's that I want to get back on that saying, you know, if we do January 5th, that would have been when the episode dropped if we had continued every 2 weeks. So we're going to be back on the same two. You know what I'm saying?
You're riding the ship.
Yeah. But of course, we want to thank some people for some recurring donations first. From Brian Dancer, from James, from Jeremy at the Color Up YouTube channel, from Kurt, from Nathan, and from the National Association of Casino Party Operators. We also got a donation from our friend Robin that we heard from earlier. Also a donation from Jason that we heard from earlier, who hit the all small tall. He said, karma donation for rolling a 3 to hit my first all tall and small at Caesars, Virginia this past Thanksgiving. So again, congratulations, Jason. Also a donation from Maddie that we heard from earlier. He sent us $75 and he said $25 each on the all tall small for you guys to share the next time you're on the tables together. Thanks for all you do, Maddie from Australia. And when we were in Vegas, during Coffee Dice, when the dice got to Trey, I think Trey was about to roll, if I recall.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, I'm going to bet on
it
Trey,
was.
right? He got the dice, and I never make the all small tall bet, you know. And so here I throw out $75. All right, here's for the bonus. And everybody's, oh, wow, oh, ah. And I explained that, you know, it was from Maddie, and he asked us to do it. The very next roll, 7, and that was it.
Yes.
But thank you, Maddie. We appreciate it. It provided entertainment for everybody at the table because as soon as the 7 came up, I said, well, that was fun.
Yeah. Mark just, well, that was fun. And they kind of turned around and walked away. Oh.
Also a donation from podcast favorite John B. Headed back to Vegas this week for ZorkFest, although I'm late with the karma donation and you won't read it until after we actually see each other. Anyway, here's to good fortune and a good time. See you next weekend. Thank you, John B. It was great to see you as always. And finally, a donation from Pat G. Karma donation for upcoming Aruba gaming. Half for Dr. Mike's school fund. Great meeting you in Blackhawk, Mark. Pat G. from Jersey, and I sent half of that money to you, Dr. Mike, so thank you very much, Pat.
Thank you, and I've got something to say about these donations here, which I'll get to at the end.
All right, sounds good. In the meantime, don't forget that you can order merchandise for You Can Bet on That and for The Better Life at bettermerch.com. That's BETTOR merch.com. You'll find a link for that at the top of our webpage. Also on our webpage, you'll find a list of all the gambling-related shows coming up on American television in the next 2 weeks at youcanbetonThat.com/TV-listings. If you're looking for a movie to watch, check out our list of gambling-related movies at youcanbetonThat.com/movies. We'd love to hear from you. Call our voicemail hotline at 951-292-4377. That's 9512-WAGERS.
9512-WAGERS.
Or you can email us at youcanbetonThat@gmail.com. We're also on Twitter at YouCanBetOnThat and on Facebook at facebook.com/YouCanBetOnThat. All right, you got it, Dr. Mike.
Well, first off, thank you to all the people who called, who we haven't heard from in a while, because that makes me feel good. I sometimes sit there and think, oh, I wonder what happened to, so-and-so. Yeah. So that's great. I love that. Second of all, I wanted to mention that the money that people send to the school fund is greatly, greatly appreciated. We just gave 2 children Christmas gifts. We paid for their Christmas gifts because their parents can't particularly afford anything.
Oh, that's great.
One girl got a coat and a couple of dresses, a pair of pants, things like that.
Yeah.
And then also one family just asked for food. Wow. So we set them up with a ham and, all the whole deal. So that all came out of that money. And I want to tell you that the school counselor, the school psychologist, the principal, so many people come up and say, oh my God, this is so great. This is so great. We really, appreciate that. So very, very thankful to all you people.
Yeah, that's great. Especially this time of year, it's kind of a cliche expression, but that is really great news.
the school finds out about because, we see somebody coming to school when it's, -2 and they're wearing a sweater.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh my gosh, well, do you have a jacket? No, I don't have one. That kind of thing. So it really, really does help. And the weather too, Mark. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I get up, it's -3 with the wind chill making it -15.
Uh-huh.
I was like, oh God, I had to go to a basketball game, and just getting out of the car to run inside the gym.
Gosh, I can't imagine.
Yeah.
I've never been in temperatures that cold. Yeah, the teens,
it's
I
cold.
think, is as bad as it's gotten for me. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's cold. And, when the wind's blowing like that, you can get frostbite pretty quick.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Lynn makes sure she bundles me up. Yeah, it's going to be a cold winter for a lot of people. I mean, even I think I saw San Diego is going to be a little colder than normal.
I guess it was 85 2 days ago. So you tell me.
Yeah, so it is colder. It might even get to like 68 at some point.
Maybe I might have to put on a coat. Yeah.
A coat. 68, that'd be bikini weather here for us. I would be wearing a G-string. Other than that, I'm very excited with all the upcoming football games. It's going to be a great end to the NFL this year, I think.
I hope so.
There's a lot more parity. There's no real super standout team. I like that. And college football, we got all the playoffs coming up and bowl games and all that good stuff. So it's going to be a wonderful Christmas time.
Enjoy it. Everybody enjoy all the holidays.
Enjoy their holidays and your family and your friends.
And we will see you next year. Thanks for listening.
Goodbye.
You made a bet with a student for money?
Yeah, dude, that's how bets work. What do you think we bet? Crab cake?
I know how bets work, man.
Who cares? I made a little bet. I love gambling.